Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. What is up? What is up? And literally, as I press live, Frida grabs my shoe. 1 second. This fucking dog. All right. Let's try this again. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Let me know if you can hear me okay. This dog, when I tell y'all she runs the show here, she fucking runs the show. Let me tell you. I got all three of them in here today. But what's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Y'all have been, I've been in there talking shit. What up, guys? Oh, you guys can't hear me? Oh, okay. I was about to say, yo, add this to the list for today. But what's up, guys? Good morning. And I left my coffee in the other room. Ain't that a bitch? I'm definitely gonna have to get up here in a second. But what's up, guys? We are here late because, you know, why wouldn't we be late? But I had to take care of some stuff with the dogs this morning. So yeah, had to get Frida's stuff ready for her little staycation that she's having starting tomorrow morning. Well, sometime tomorrow. Since I'll be in Massachusetts, she will be at daycare. She will be living the sweet life over with her little friends over at this cute little place. They made her a little picture and everything. I'll have to show you guys. Maybe I'll grab it when I get up here in a second. Oh, man. Y'all are funny, bro. Fernando, what up, dude? I'm going to read that comment here in a second about that World Championship at Saturday night's main event. Y'all funny. But yeah, so had to get some shit ready. Man, it's gonna be such a busy day. But we are here. Did you guys? Yeah, K Smith, what up, dude? What up, K Smith? What up? Make sure I didn't skip anybody. Good morning, all. Good morning, everyone on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, wherever you tune in at, wherever you watch on replay, wherever you do whatever. I appreciate you guys. It is Saturday morning, of course. That's why we're here. I'm going to fix these blinds again. But I wanted to. I always say this, right? And it ends up going forever, but I mean it today. It's not going to be that crazy long of a stream today. But I definitely wanted to talk about some stuff from SmackDown. I spoke about AEW, whatever day that was, maybe Thursday. For a little bit. So tonight, today, this morning, whatever time, we are going to chat about some SmackDown. Obviously, it just happened last night. The JADE turn, right? Maybe not that big of a deal to some people, but I'm pumped for it. I hope this is going to be, I don't want to say like a fresh start, but I don't know, just open up, like kind of like remove some change and kind of like make her like free up a little bit. So I want to chat about that. And also, obviously, I want to talk about who you guys think attacked Jacob Fatu. I have a thought, and I don't know if it's the majority of everyone's thought because I haven't seen many review shows yet, but I want to chat about it. So that's what we're going to do today. Let me pull up the notes here. And what up, Sean? I see you texted me, my friend. I will hit you back. Like I said, I've just been running around everywhere this morning. There we go. And I have to work this evening. I have to catch a flight. I have to be at the airport tomorrow by like 4:15, 4:30. And I have to work tonight until 11. And I won't get home until like 12. I did not think that through. I took off for all next weekend. I didn't even think about taking off for tonight. So there's that. There we go. Let's pull up. Let's look for the SmackDown stuff. What do you guys feel about these ratings, man? What do you guys think about the whole? Oh, my hair popped out. The whole ratings fiasco with AEW, NXT, new record lows, and all that shit. And the new, what do they call it? Like big data or whatever, like dumb shit. The way the new tracking system for the ratings. I don't know. it's whatever, you know. Kind of my long story short of it. I mean, obviously, I get why it's important. It's interesting, you know, and I think it is very telling, but I don't know. And for instance, with AEW, like, if you guys and you guys in there, I know Silent. Well, I'm not going to speak for you, Silent, but I'm pretty certain you said you haven't watched AEW since the whole bag angle. Oh man, see, she grabbed my other shoe. But I watch AEW via Max. I am one of those people who watch via HBO. So, and honestly, like, the more I've heard from people, like, they watch via HBO as well. I really need to go get my coffee. But so I am one of those. You know, I was watching on Sling prior when they moved over to HBO. I realized between that and WWE moving over to Netflix, I was like, well, shit, I can literally cancel Sling, save, I think it was like pretty much like $50 a month, maybe 55 because I had like a couple of the add-on things, and just pay for HBO, and I was already paying for Netflix. So I am one of those people. So I have heard a couple of like different like podcasts or whatever, and like different, like, I don't know, what I'll just call it podcasts, different shows say that the drop off from like cable, I guess we can still call it, you know, from watching via normal routes, switching over to HBO probably isn't as big as people think, but I'm one of them, and I know of at least like 4 or 5 people, and I know that's not a lot, but it's more than I would have expected. You know what I mean? So let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I'm gonna go grab my coffee really quick, and then we'll dive into that a little bit and see what you guys have to say, and then yeah, I'll be right back. All right. Just scrolling back through. All right, yeah, turn my audio back on. Sigh. Yes, thank you, my friend. I didn't even see this, but I thank you until now. It was making me anxious too. What up, Maria? What up? What up? Oh, Maria, that's a good question too. Come here, Tree. Yeah, she is on one today. About the whole AI thing. Okay, Sean, do you still watch on cable, or do you watch on HBO when you watch? Or I guess you watch. I guess you. Well, that's on TBS, so I guess you would watch on on cable then. Okay. Yes, you make a great point too. You said, well, backing up one. You said I don't care about the ratings ever. It's not been important since Raw and Nitro, and I don't see NBA fans fretting over the Knicks and Celtics ratings. Yeah, like honestly, let me know. And Sean, you probably, I know you're really into like college football, and football in general, but I'm pretty certain college football though, right, Sean? I think you know, but obviously in regular football too. But even shows like Pat McAfee and like the First Take and all that shit, like they don't. do they ever mention the ratings, like, in ever? Like, if it's been either a really, like, badass, like a killer rating, or on the other end, whether it's been a completely shit, like one of the lowest ratings they've ever done. Do they ever mention that, like, during their analysis? Like, or do they ever mention that, like, at all? Like, maybe they'll mention, like, like millions of people are gonna tune in, or like make comments like that, or shit. But I don't. And granted, like, again, that's why I'm asking you guys, because I don't sit here and watch those shows religiously, but I tune in from time to time, and that's why I'm like, I don't recall them ever harping on that, or making that a real talking point, or and making it part of, not part of, like, obviously the TV show or anything like that, but part of their show, and part of the determination of whether a team or a business is doing well or not. It's just not really a factor to them. So, but again, let me know if I'm wrong, because I could be completely off with that. Just from what I have seen, I haven't seen that really been a big talking point. Yeah, college. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, Sean. So you said they don't talk about them much. It would have to be really bad. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. What up, CJ? What up? What up, dude? So that's true. Yeah, but Maria, you said who in the chat is happy about AI writing wrestling storylines in WWE? That, and again, guys, I am one of those, like, weird outliers. I've probably used Chat GBT maybe 5 times, 6 times max, very sporadically. Um, I dabbled on here a couple times with, like, different, like, imaging things with AI, I think, but that's pretty much it. So I don't, but I've seen, like, I mean, obviously I know, like, people are writing their, like, whole, like, essays and shit with ChatGPT, like writing emails and shit. So I don't I don't I haven't dove too much into it, because to me, like, it's just kind of not scary, but I don't trust it. Um I don't know, man. I just have, like, a weird feeling about it. I don't know. And especially who's creating it. I don't know. There's just I'm probably too much of, like, a, not a conspiracy theorist, but too much of a what if, or just a person who questions shit in general, I guess. I was about to say something, but I'm definitely not getting into that. But moving on. Um yeah, it's Sean. Yeah, that stuff scares me too, man. It scares me just how quickly, like, I don't want to say it came out of nowhere, but just, like, how quickly it was, like, thrust upon us, and how quickly, like, so many people have adapted to it, and so many people are relying on it for so many things. I don't know, man. I don't know. In ChatGPT, don't you have to pay for to use it, like, for certain things, or, like, don't you only get, like, a certain amount of, like, questions, or a certain amount of, like, just, like, submissions, and then don't you have to, like, pay for unlimited or something? I don't know. Again, like I said, I don't know too much about it. Um, but yeah. But back to SmackDown, because you guys know me. I'll fucking be sitting here talking about aliens and all this shit if we continue down this path. But SmackDown, with Jade, we'll go back to Jade. I pull up my SmackDown notes. Like I was saying earlier, I loved it. I think it was perfect. It was what needed to happen for her. I loved her look. I loved her hair. Like, just something about her attire, her whole presentation was just spot on for the moment and what she was about to do. You know what I mean? I think it's not only freshening up her character, but it's going to allow her to be a little bit more free. Like I was saying, it's going to allow her to be a little bit more of herself. I feel like a little bit more of that Jay that we saw in AEW. And again, a lot of people, shit on AEW for right and wrong reasons, in my opinion, and will just be negative regardless of how good an episode was, or, you know what I mean, just be negative regardless. I'm, you guys know me, so I don't need to really explain it by now, but I don't think they've been stellar with a lot of shit, right? But I think with Jade, they did a pretty good job in her presentation. You know, I think they found the sweet spot with her. I think they allowed her to go out there and be herself, and we saw that. You know, like I cut the you guys remember cut the shit, Tony? Like that shit was great. Like just something so simple, and I miss that. I miss her saying that. Just it was just something about something so simple that she just made it her own, and it just kind of played into like you don't fuck with her. You know what I mean? Like cut the shit. You don't play with her. She's about her business. She's not there for a long time. She's there to get her shit done. Kind of like Goldberg, right? Like in a like weird comparison. She's there to go in there, kick ass, like be dominant, and go. You know what I mean? My dog is fucking trying to lay on this box. I wish I could show you guys this shit. I wish. I'm gonna see if I can take a picture of this. This fucking dog. This fucking. Let me see if I can show you guys. Look at this dog. This is right beside me. I have a box right there and have like a small little pile of clothes that I had folded that need to be put away. And there's my monitor that I need to pack. And she fucking. Oh, now she. Update. Now she knocked over the pile of clothes. Trying to see. Look at this shit. She just does what she wants. She has the whole floor. She has the bed over there. But yet she decides to walk on my box, smushing it, mind you, messing up the neatly folded pile of clothes that once was, and screw my monitor. That's fine. But yeah, yeah. Back to Jade, right? I just couldn't fucking believe that shit. Sorry, guys. Yeah, back to Jade. I in AEW. Again, credit where credit is due. I think they did a very good job with her. And again, I think they were getting to a point where she needed to kind of progress a little bit more in the sense that she needed more opponents that could have longer matches with her. And at that point, AEW was still building the women's division, so it just wasn't the right time. Now, again, it's just all about the presentation, right, and the booking. But I think with the roster that they have right now with AEW, if Jade was in there, I think it would be. I think the competition. I think she would have the same run, right? But I think it would have gotten to a point where, like, with your Jamie Hayters and your Tony Storms and stuff, I feel like she would have been put in a situation where she has longer matches and been able to kind of grow. But I do think she made the right decision for her and for what she wants to do long term by going to WWE. Just for her, you know, like there's nothing. It's like she, you know, like she said, like, and a lot of people have said, like, it's no shade going from one company to the other, unless you know there's a reason, right? Unless it's like a negative reason why you're leaving, but like the Punk, right? But not every person who leaves a company and goes to another one, like it has to be like, oh, like you're shitting on them or like fuck them. Like I don't know, like some people just kind of take it out of hand. But I am very excited for the heel run. Again, I'm not expecting her to just immediately go in there and be like a ring general now or anything like that. But again, it gives her an opportunity to kind of be a little bit more of herself. And I hope that I don't know exactly what rules they have with certain words, especially on Netflix now. I guess SmackDown is technically on USA Network. But man, if they could allow her like at least every like maybe once a month ish, or I don't know, if they could let her just at least occasionally go out there and obviously know so they can bleep it on our end, right? But let her go out there and be like, I can't say Tony, but God, who would it be? Like, you know, who like whoever she's out there with me, like cut the shit, like Tiffany, cut the shit. You know what I mean? Like just something, you know, like I would fucking that would just tickle me to death. I would just love that shit. So yeah, man, I'm just excited for that. Again, it was nothing like, oh my god, like groundbreaking or anything like that. but I think it's a good sign. I think it's an awareness too that that they needed to kind of spice things up with her, you know, and the route they were going wasn't necessarily firing on all cylinders, right? So try a different route. And I think this is going to be good. And again, I'm not expecting her to be like the next face of the company, you know, or anything crazy like that. But I think it's going to be a good start for her and a good run. And I think it will end up leading to the championship. I do. So, y'all's thoughts on that? Oh, and CJ will be able to talk about your girl here too. Cats are better. CJ, I'm not going to get into that again. Exactly, Fernando. You said WWE has not been very stellar lately either. I agree, 100%. Yeah, CJ, you said I did not see it coming, but I think this heel turn could be very good for her. I agree, my friend. I agree. Yeah, and K Smith, you said I feel like WWE always drops off in September and October. Yeah, man, but again, to be fair, like Fernando said, something just I feel like again, to be fair, I feel like recently, like the past month ish or so, things have been looking better, right? At least from where we were. But this past year, though, like it's just been a weird year, I think, for storylines, period, in both major companies. Um, it's just WWE has more flash and more bells and whistles than AEW does that they can kind of mask some of their weaknesses and some of like where they're lacking at. So you know, to be fair on both sides, but WWE also they do have their solidified stars and they do have their staples in the main event, and I think that's what AEW is still working on. And again, to be fair, a lot of their top talent is out right now, so you can only do but so much. But once something happens, it's like, all right, you know, you acknowledge it and you have to, all right, what's plan B? You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. But you know, it's crazy to say, dude. It's fucking, I was driving the other day and I was just, I don't know why I was thinking about the month of October. And it hit me like, yo, Christmas is fucking almost 2 months away. And now, today's the 25th, exactly 2 months away. Like, what the fuck, man? It's just crazy. It's crazy. Like, I don't understand where the year went. Really? Like I don't understand it at all. um so yeah, it's kind of crazy, but the point with that is we are edging dangerously close to December, which is the farewell for John Cena, which I think is going to be just insane. Insane. And I don't think no, it's a little too dark. I don't think I'm going to be going to that because I think I said it here. The ticket prices are fucking like worse than I thought. Like insane isn't even the right word. It's more than WrestleMania. Like the nosebleed seats that they had for WrestleMania 40, when I was looking, it was like the cheapest one was like $332. I can't remember. That was without fees. And I think with fees it ended up being like 370 or 380 or some shit. I ended up getting a different one, but just I remember looking through all of them because, you know, whatever. Um so obviously with Cena, right? You know, I don't know if you guys looked, but I definitely looked because I was trying to go. Nosebleed seats, dude. Fucking like I think the cheapest one I saw was like 420 or something. Not 420. That'd be cool. Not 420, it was like 428 or something like that, or 443, something in that range. But then when you add it, you know, added your ticket and they add the service fees and all the taxes and bullshit, it was a little over $500. And I was like, that's just insane. That's just insane. And for me, like I've said before, I would have stayed with some friends in Richmond. So, that would have been like a 2-hour drive. So I would have just rented a car and had to pay for, renting the car, gas, whatever, and the ticket and, the flight up there. But I wouldn't have had to pay for like any hotels or anything like that. So that would have, if you're not putting in this bucket, you could put in this bucket, you know what I mean? But no, bro, like that's just fucking wild. Like wild. When they sent out the emails for the pre-sale, for the packages that they had, they had like different tiers. I forget exactly what they all were called. Like they had a championship tier, which was the most expensive one, and they had I think the lowest one was like silver or some shit. And that one, I remember looking at it, and it was like I think it was like $700 or $770 or some 700 something. I think it was like 770 per person, I think is what it was. And it came like the seating, like on the front page, it was like for the seating, it was like upper level, which that could mean a lot. So I'm thinking like obviously not the floor or like that first level, but maybe like that second raised, and then then you get to your nosebleed. So I was thinking like maybe in that kind of like mid upper layer, but no, they were talking about nosebleeds, which okay. And then you get like a lanyard, some other like random shit. But I remember looking at that and thinking like that's fucking crazy. And now, like shit, looking at the whole package, like that would have been a better option. Like if you were that pressed to go, like shit, if you were willing to spend $500 on just one ticket for in the nosebleed section, you might as well pay an extra almost $300. As not that that's like chump change or anything. And get the fucking package, because at least you get like, and it was like some limited like John Cena merchandise or whatever. But I mean, like if Cena means that much to you and you're already spending that much to go, like you're gonna spend that on merch anyway when you get there. So you might as well get some exclusive shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just a bummer though. It's just a bummer that, in my opinion, at least me, I'll speak for me, they're pricing me out. You know what I mean? Like they're pricing out like your normal average people. You know what I mean? Like I'm not over here balling. You know what I mean? Verizon would think so. Like when I moved in here, I had to get a fucking Wi-Fi extender because they thought the signal was like it couldn't reach the back. I'm like, like come on now. Yeah, I'm in the fucking mansion. But yeah, it's just I don't know. They're pricing us out, man, and it's sad. And I forget who it was, but one of them had said that they don't think the prices are high enough. And I'm just like, yeah, for someone who has millions of dollars, yeah, what's a few $100 to you? You know what I mean? $1,000 to you, a few $1,000s to you, $8,000 to you. You know what I mean? So sorry, I just had to mix my coffee and kind of get it off my chest. Exactly, Fernando. You said dogs are way better than cats. They can't play catch and stuff. Yeah, but my dogs are weird. So Frida, the one on the box here, her version of catch is you throw the ball, she will run and get it no matter like, and if she can't find it, like she won't give up until she finds that ball, and it's got to be the exact ball. Like if you try to trick her and give her like a different ball, she knows. Even if it's a ball she was just playing with, like she knows. So she will go and find that shit. But then once she finds it and she gets it, now the game is you chase her and like you go to her. So, and then she plays like keep away. So that's her version of fetch. Callie, my poor sweet shepherd, I swear, I truly think she's special, which it's just my luck, but bless her. She's like the sweetest dog I've ever had. But like she'll like run and get the ball, but like she like pounces and like just like slams her feet down and like she'll grab the ball and like she'll like throw it up and then like she'll like plop her feet down again and then like she just stands there like she doesn't know what to do. So that's us at the dog park. I'm probably on like one of those like like crazy pet owner videos or like that viral shit. I'm probably on one of those. But yeah, ticket prices are way too freaking high, dude. Yeah, Sean, Sai, you're right. I'm not going because I'm not a billionaire. You're absolutely right. CJ, you said, yeah, same here. I went to Saturday night main event and Evolution. Those might be the last WWE shows I can go to for a really long time. Oh, that's dope. You went to Evolution. I'm really bummed I missed out on that. So I'm assuming, yeah, you went for both for that weekend. Right on, dude. Yeah, I went to Saturday night's main event when it was here in Tampa. And I think that's the last WWE show I went to because I was gonna go to the Orlando show when they were here for SmackDown, but that shit was crazy expensive too, and I had to work, and I was just like, once I saw the price, I was like, you know what, I'm not even that pressed. But speaking of Evolution and the women, where was it? Yeah, here we go. Maria had said, I'm very excited for Alexa Bliss and Charlotte versus Nia and Mystery Partner. It's you saying Alexa Bliss and Charlotte and you seeing CJ. Maybe, I don't know if you guys saw it. It might have I don't know if it aired on SmackDown. It might have aired on SmackDown. But Bailey had I'll get back to that, Maria. Bailey had posted this video, and maybe it was. I don't know. I just saw it on her Twitter page, but she was like sitting with her cat or something and in like her gaming chair or whatever. And she pretty much called out Charlotte and Alexa. And I'm pretty certain Charlotte had responded saying like, hello, my old friend, or some shit like that. And I'm going to see what she said. I'm trying to pull up on my phone really quick. I can't believe she's really on this fucking box. Yeah, so Bailey had posted a video 16 hours ago saying, ding dong hello. And then she tagged Charlotte and Alexa. And Charlotte responded and said, oh, hello, old friend. We will see you Monday. Can't wait to chop you. I think that is going to be such a fun tag match and a fun feud. And I hope it's not just a one-off because I think that match and that those women can really go on and put on just a stellar tag match, man. I think, especially with the four that are involved, like Alexa Bliss, man, like people don't give her credit. Like she really had stepped up before she ended up going out, for pregnancy or whatever. And and I think she had something like an injury shortly after that, but whatever, just before she ended up going out, she was on a good run. And granted, she had moved over and was doing the thing with Bray Wyatt and all that. But there's something about Alexa Bliss, man. So you can't sleep on Alexa, right? Besides just like the star power, like she's like a Naomi to me. Like she's just someone who doesn't get the credit that they really deserve in the ring. So I always was not a huge fan of Alexa Bliss, but I enjoyed her stuff. So in Charlotte Flair, like you guys have heard me chat about Charlotte multiple times. You know my feelings on this pairing. I'm just still a fan. Like I want them to kind of progress a little bit more, but I love them as a pair, and I think it's just been exactly what Charlotte needed. So keep going strong with it. And then Bailey and again, y'all know how I feel about Lyra too. Like Lyra just hasn't. She's good in the ring. Like I'm nothing like it's nothing against what she can do. Like she's very good in the ring and all that stuff. And I can see why people dig her. It's just not my cup of tea. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to let it grow on me, and I'm hoping this partnership with Bailey will kind of change my mind on that. But again, we all have people who we aren't fans of, so it is what it is. But I think this feud and with this version of Bailey that they're going with, I think having Charlotte especially as someone that Bailey can play off of with their history and stuff like that, and with the mental gymnastics that Bailey has been going through, right? And then kind of like going through like all the versions of herself and kind of having just like a cluster of like all the Baileys like almost morphing into one, or just like Not as much lately, but we, remember the videos where it was like we were like listening to her thoughts and shit like that. Like she's going through some shit right now. So I think it's going to be very fun to see what she ends up doing with Charlotte, and that's why I'm hoping it's not just a one-off. And I'm kind of bummed. Let me go back and see. I don't want to play the video because I don't want to get in trouble, but I can't remember if she challenged her specifically to a match and they're going to have a match on Monday, or if they're just going to have a face-to-face, which I'm hoping it's just a face-to-face. Because Charlotte can still chop her, just being opposed, right? In the ring. But if it's a match, I hope it's one of those where they do the match and then, as crazy as this sounds, like I hope like there's a reason why they can't finish the match, as I know shitty as it is, but I want this to continue. I want this to just be the beginning. Because I feel like they can really get a lot out of it. So yeah. And it's just fun to get two of the four horsewomen interacting with each other. And who knows, like maybe, well, Becky's doing her own thing with the IC championship. I was gonna say, like, with the tie-in with Lyra and Becky, maybe there's just like an appearance or something like that, but probably not. But I have a lot of hope for it. And whether Bayley and Lyra end up dethroning Charlotte, I honestly, I don't think that's gonna happen. But I mean, when you look at the lay of the land, it's probably the best case scenario. Or maybe they do, and then Charlotte and Alexa end up winning it back. But I just feel like Bayley is going to end up turning on Lyra, at some point. So whether that's before they end up, winning the championships, or Bayley's pissed that that they lost the championships, or whatever that may end up being, we'll see. Yeah, K. Smithy said if Bianca was healthy, Tiffany would not be champion still. I miss Bianca, dude. I really miss Bianca. And I hope she comes back with a new version of herself, and she comes back just not, I mean, because you don't want to bring her back as a bad guy, right? Because people are going to be super pumped to see her, but just like a little bit like of an edgier version of herself. And I'm not going to get on the soapbox of her and Montez, but maybe this could be like an edgier version of herself that can be like the breadcrumbs. We'll see. We'll see. But I want to talk about Jacob Fatu really quick, guys. Who do you think attacked Jacob? Because I think the more that we have Drew talking and fucking with Cody, man, I think, and maybe it's starting to become too obvious, but I think it's going to end up being Cody, man. I think, especially if Jacob ends up being out for a long time, because they said, at least until the beginning of the year, or at least throughout the rest of this year, which obviously bring us into the beginning of next year. Then the question is, are you really going to turn Cody before WrestleMania? Or are you going to keep Jacob out all the way? Because I can't imagine they keep, unless he has to be, right? Then of course. But if he's good to come back like January, February, I can't see them not bringing him back until after WrestleMania, unless they have just such a stellar lineup they don't need to, which I don't see that, especially with it being 2 nights. Like I don't see that happening. So do you really want Cody to turn before WrestleMania? And I'm not even saying I'm against it, because I'm for Drew beating Cody for the championship. And you guys know me, man. Like I'm a big Cody fan. But Drew needs it, dude. Drew needs it more than Cody. And yes, like whether it's Drew gets it and then Cody beats him at WrestleMania or something like that, then and that could be kind of fun. Like Drew beats Cody for the championship. Drew continues to call out Cody for being the one to attack Fatu. We end up finding out that Cody is the one who attacked Jacob backstage. Like we get that. You guys remember the shot? Oh my god, it was, what was it? Was it Shawn Michaels? Was it when Shawn Michaels was thrown through the window of the car, and that we got like security footage. I think it was Shawn Michaels, and we got security footage like way like in like 2002 when Shawn was like first coming back. I could be off, but I think it was when Shawn was like thrown through because his face was all like jacked up. I think he was like thrown through a car or some shit like through the window because that the glass whatever. But the security footage that we had was just like zoomed in at one point and it was like kind of foggy. But then when they like kind of like zoomed out and like cleared it up, it was Triple H. So you can have kind of an effect like that, right? Because obviously like these arenas nowadays have video footage. So and why Nick Aldis hasn't just pulled the footage by now, or maybe it takes time. I don't know. But months, come on. But maybe Cody like confiscated the footage or some shit. I don't know. Because Cody's a good guy, like if Cody's like, yeah, like Nick sent me to pick up the footage so we could figure out what happened to Jacob, like why would you not believe Cody? So it could be something like that. But if it's a situation like excuse me, like that where Jacob ends up coming back, and maybe whether Jacob knows or not, but Drew this entire time has been saying it's Cody, it's Cody, it's Cody, and Cody's like getting more and more pissed off because like it says a lot that Cody's getting really angry about it, right? Like Cody has been through, and it really stood out to me last night because Cody has been through some shit, right? You think of all the personal shit that he went through with The Rock, with Roman Reigns, and the Bloodline and all that shit. He didn't get that angry and that fast, but he has just gotten so angry with Drew and the accusations and shit. To me, man, look, if I know I didn't do something, I'm gonna tell you I didn't do it, but I'm not gonna sit there and get angry and angry and angrier. I'm just gonna be like, look, like I know I didn't do this shit, so you're just wasting your time, bro. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna sit there and get so worked up. But if I know that I did do something, and I know that you know that I did something, and you just keep calling me out on it, then I'm gonna get pissed because you won't fucking drop it. You know what I mean? You keep bringing attention to it. You keep bringing attention to my involvement or my potential involvement in it, and you keep shining the light. And maybe like the more you talk about it, more and more people are like, you know what? Is Drew onto something? You know what I mean? Like, and like the speculation just keeps adding. So I think that could be a fun route. And leading into WrestleMania, if they want to have Drew, maintain the championship, his championship run, and go into WrestleMania as champion, you can have a double turn, right? Like you can have once it's revealed that Cody is the one who attacked Jacob Fatu, and Cody says, whatever he's gonna say, and we get that heel turn. Drew is right. Drew can come out the following week and be right, and that can be, and the fans can really be like, wow, like, and because the people already like Drew, and want, like, we just want that official, like, like that's our guy, like, and like the okay to embrace, you know what I mean? So and they could that could be your WrestleMania main event, and like I don't know, man, I just feel like they have something with Drew, and if you just continue to put him in the main event picture and in these big matches and lose, at some point you're gonna get to a point where it's like, yo, like he's just not gonna win. You know what I mean? And just kind of like, and then it gets to a point where what he says isn't as impactful, and that's gonna suck because Drew is too good for that shit. He's way too good for that shit. So I don't think, and I think they know that. So I don't think they're going to let it get to that point. But yeah, like like just thinking like if he was on Raw, I feel like he would be heavyweight champion in no time. So if they don't end up going and putting the championship on him, maybe they just need to take him off of SmackDown, period. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. But I was just thinking about it because that thought had just literally popped into my head. But you don't want to do that because if CM Punk does end up winning the championship, then if you have Drew on Raw, then you go right back to that. And it's too soon for that because we had, God, what was that, a year, right, of that feud? And it was fantastic, but it was fantastic, but you don't want to go back to that so soon because then you'll kind of ruin a good thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on that. And I will dive into the chat here in a second, but that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to kind of get that off my chest, chat with you guys, see what you guys had to say, and yeah, just shoot the shit with you guys. Yeah, CJ. I'm assuming that's where you took your picture there, right? With Bailey? That morning of evolution? That's dope, dude. Dude, Fernando, right? You said our Orlando Magic are off to a good start. We killed the Heat the other night. Fucking insane, dude. Have you ever been to a game? I really want to go to one. I really want to go to one. Because I've never been to an NBA game. I've been to a WNBA game, but I've never been to an NBA game. So I really want to fucking go. Yo, we were at the Goodwill the other day. I love going into like thrift stores and like Goodwill and shit like that. Find some really cool shit sometimes. Exhibit A. We were in the checkout line and I am one of those suckers, dude, that the shit that they put at like the end of the aisles, like right at the register, I cave sometimes. Most time. They had jerseys like lined up, and they were good jerseys, like real, like all NBA jerseys. They had like Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, like all like good shit. Like I was really surprised. And the color of the day was orange. So I was looking through, and they had I almost said Post Malone, a Karl Malone jersey, dude. I was just fucking blown away. It's in the other room. I might get that shit to show you guys. It was just fucking dope. It was like I think $39.99, but the color of the day was orange. So got it for $20. I couldn't believe someone like got rid of that shit. It was so cool. So cool. So I had to snag it. Had to snag it. But yeah, you speaking of that made me think of the jersey. But yeah, dude. But yeah, have you been to a Magic game? Or any game? Period. But in speaking of the Heat, y'all heard about that fucking NBA scandal, dude. I'm gonna dive into that. I'm gonna watch some shit. When I jump off here and do some shit around the house. I'm gonna listen to a little bit more because, excuse me, I don't know all the details, but from what I heard briefly, like Chauncey Billups, dude, right? Like what? Crazy. When I heard that name, shit took me back. I was like, what? No. Oh, Sean, okay. And K Smith. So you guys said it at the exact same time. Sean, you said no, Cody isn't turning here. I think it could be Randy. And then K Smith said, Orton beat up Jacob. Okay, so all y'all, damn, at the same time. All y'all are saying no, Cody is not turning heel right now. Randy Orton should beat Cody. Okay. All right, cool. That's a good idea. Sometimes like the obvious like guilty person isn't the guilty person, you know what I mean? Like, whenever like the wife ends up off, it's the first person they think of is the husband or the boyfriend or whatever, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's not always the husband or the boyfriend or the whatever, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's that random psycho over there who hears voices. Okay, yeah. And Sean, you said, don't ruin a good thing with Cody. He can do it, but it's too soon. Drew does need something. And yeah, I guess I was advocating, right? And I still do kind of like my idea. But if I had to like really make an idea or make a decision, I would say no. I would say don't do it right now. And you still have plenty of time. But I think if you really want to shake shit up and you aren't afraid to really like try some shit, why not? You know what I mean? And maybe that's what AI wants too. You never know. Lord of Dogtown, what up, what up? Yeah, okay, dude. Fucking thank you, man. So you said, "What's up, Ash?" And it was Triple H who put HBK through a car window. Fucking knew it, man. Thank you for that validation. I appreciate that. So, you're funny. Bless you. Were you even born in 2002? Yeah, okay, Sean. So you say he's just mad because Drew's attacking him and acting like an ass. Yeah, but it's just like, dude, like, why are you getting so angry? Like, I get it, and I get it. Maybe he's just fed up and he's just tired of the bullshit, and I can appreciate and understand that. I don't know, man. It just seems to be a bit much, you know? Hold on one second. I was just updating some shit. But yeah, guys. Oh, yeah. Dude, K Smith, yeah. And we will end on that, dude. What did y'all think of that that entrance? That I mean, I'm sure we all the first thought was Alistair was Karrion Cross and Zelina Vega, right? Like in some ways it kind of hurt my heart a little bit, you know what I mean? Like cuz you guys know, I have been a Karrion Cross fan, man, since early in NXT. Like a lot of people like is he the best in the ring, you know, like technician wise? Like no, but just something about him always just grabbed me, man. And it was just kind of about like the total package. Of course, the entrance was a big deal, but I don't know, man. Just something about him just always grabbed me. So I was always a fan, but I understand why some people weren't too high on him. So I can kind of see both sides with that. But that entrance, yeah, and so that's why it hurts my heart a little bit. But it almost like with that type of vibe and that type of character, right? Like in that like realm of character, it's almost like you can only do but so much to have a different entrance. And I think they could have maybe tweaked it a bit, and they still will maybe, and they still have time. But yeah, I'm sure everyone's first thought was Kyria Cross, especially was Elena. What she came out like kind of crawling, right? Or like kind of at least like bent down, but she was crawling, right? Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And again, that's I'm not saying like they were, and to me, like in my opinion, Case Smith thing, you know, you guys, like I don't think they were like Alistair and Zelina, you know, like I don't think they were going out there specifically to like throw shade or to deliberately copy like Karen or anything like that. As like a spite or anything like ill will or anything like that. It's probably like Triple H's vision too, like a heavy hand of that. I'm sure like they obviously had their say, but you guys, I'm sure, have seen like those videos. The one that comes to mind recently is Stephanie Vaquer's. Triple H is out there very hands on with the collaboration and setting up the whole visual of their entrance. So I think that probably had like a heavy hand in it as well. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with but to me, like it was still dope though, and like it kind of I don't know, like I really love this pairing, right? So I'm not too like upset about that, but 100%, like that's first thing, the first thought in my mind. Well, second technically. So the first thought was like once I realized it was them coming out, I was like, oh fuck yeah! Like I was excited to see like what it was gonna look like the whole presentation. And then once it was playing out, I was like, oh, and it just made me miss them. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But I am excited for Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. I'm super pumped to see what they end up doing with them as a pairing. Um, I was very curious, and I should have expected it, right? But I was very curious to see how they were going to end that match because obviously I didn't see Aleister picking up the U.S. Championship so soon. But I don't even know why I didn't even think of Damien. um, but yeah, so it just makes sense there. But I think Damian Priest needs some new music though, along with a lot of people, right? But it just to me it doesn't fit like this version of him now. So I just think they need to switch that up. But yeah, guys. So those are my thoughts on SmackDown. Um, and kind of just a little bit of everything as a whole. Oh, Order of Dogtown, no, but I can really quick. So, you said, have you talked about the potential return of Jericho to WWE? So, from my understanding, it's just imminent at this point. I don't know if it's like the heavy speculation, and everyone is like, I don't know if it's been not confirmed, right? But for instance, like I haven't read like specific reports, but like everything that I've seen, is insinuating that he's coming back like the beginning of the year. I've been saying I think he's going to be back. I think he's going to make his debut and return in whatever you want to call it at the Rumble. Um, it would just make the most sense to me, just with the character, the history of Jericho, his history of returns, right? I can just see him. I could actually see him being the number one entrant, really. I could see them because his big deal and his the whole like, you guys know, right? When he made his initial debut, what was that, 19 was it 99? When he interrupted The Rock? With with the countdown and everything. Yeah, it had to because the countdown for the Y2K shit. Um he's all about entrances, right? So I could totally see a playoff of that, like kind of like a morph of all of his different types of Trons, right? Like you guys remember the countdown where it had like that ball, it would go like whoosh, and then it would like go out. Like I could see it morph into that, like just so many things. So I definitely see that happening there. And if like what if you're Jericho, like what other I don't want to say what other place, but like time wise, like the Rumble it is where it is this year, so you have no control over that. But he's gonna get a much higher payday if he does make his return there. So there's that. But just the Rumble itself, we all love the Rumble. This year, it is what it is, right? But I'm still pumped for the Rumble. The Rumble match itself, but I think that's where he's going to make his return. And what he ends up doing from there, I obviously don't see him winning the Rumble or anything like that. That'd be wild. But it it's going to be very interesting, the placement of him, right? Because I almost feel like because it's really interesting with Jericho when the like more you think about it, because obviously he's on the latter end of his career, right? And I saw something where he pretty much like it was stated that like the idea is like he wants to go in there and have like a last run and then that lead into like retirement and then um Hall of Fame. Excuse me, I'm not saying like a 3 to 5 year run and then retirement, but maybe I don't know, like maybe like a year or two or some shit, and then go into the Hall of Fame, obviously. And I could definitely see him as being like an agent or a producer or someone at the performance center. Totally see. Yeah, he especially with him, I think he still lives in Tampa, right? So dude, that'd be like almost like a no brainer. I mean, that is like a 2 hour drive, but I could definitely see him doing something like that afterwards. But I almost feel like you make it like you bring him back and then you treat him like a big star. I mean, obviously you're going to, right? But in the main event scene, I think you have him come back, and that's what I'm saying. Like the Rumble is tricky though because that's the start of WrestleMania season, so I don't necessarily see him and Cody, for instance, like main eventing WrestleMania for the championship. I mean, I guess it could happen, but that would just be like so like out of left field. Um and not necessarily a bad thing, it would just depend on the lay of the land at that point. So I'm not even necessarily like ruling that out. It's just I don't like placement wise, it just doesn't seem like that's where we're at. But I mean shit, we're still so far away, right? And maybe they're going back, like staying with the Drew thing to not begin another feud, to kind of go into like a little holding pattern. So I don't know. Who knows, right? But I don't see you bringing Jericho back, having him go in like main event WrestleMania for the championship, right? And then lose and then like go from there. But I mean, shit, you bring him back, like I don't know, like what do you have him do? Like, do you have him battle? Like, can you imagine like what fucking world would we be in? Like just like the dynamics and just everything. If we have Jericho come back and end up feuding with CM Punk for the heavyweight championship on Raw at some point. Not saying like for WrestleMania or anything like that, obviously, but like, or maybe you could. Like, can you just like imagine just God damn, just the irony of it all, and just the world is just a fucking crazy place, right? Mm. So yeah, thanks for bringing that out, Dogtown. Appreciate that, guy. Oh yeah, or Dogtown, you said it'd be awesome if he was Cena's last opponent, but it might be too soon. Yeah, I mean, for me, like, I wouldn't necessarily want to see him as Cena's last opponent. They definitely have the history, right? But I think it is too soon. I don't think his contract is done until like the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though. Maria, I know, Maria, I know. And look, I'm not even saying that I agree with it, but you know he's gonna be, right? You know he's gonna be. But yeah, yeah, Sean, you said Jericho versus Cena would not work. It would be interesting, dude. It would be an interesting match for sure. But yeah, guys, so I will wrap up there. I really appreciate you guys. It's been a blast. Sorry for being a little late. But I do have to wrap up here. I have so much shit I gotta do. I gotta pack, I gotta do laundry, all that shit. Thank you, Sai. I appreciate it. For the day, for work tonight, for the early morning flight, all that shit. So really quick, the craziest shit happened when I was leaving Massachusetts last time. I was waiting for my Uber at the hotel, and it was fucking like 5:15 in the morning, and it said it was like 5:05. It said that she was arriving early, and I was like, oh, bet. And like when you look up, pull up the little map, like her car was, driving, like she was about to pull in. I was like, oh, sweet. So went downstairs, returned my key card. Yeah, just went outside. I that maybe was like 5 minutes. By the time I got outside, she wasn't there. So I was like, okay, well maybe like whatever. She just like had to drive around or something. So I pull up the map again, and it shows that she's like driving, like she's like kind of near the airport. And I was maybe like I think I was like 7 minutes away from the airport, like two ish, not even. So I was like, okay, well maybe I read it wrong or I don't know. But because I got the notification that like your driver is arriving soon, da da da. So I'm like, okay. But then it shows like my arrival time kept changing. Like it would say like 5:30 and then 5:34, and then I'm just like, the fuck is happening? Like why? Like it was just so strange. So I message her. And I'm just like, hey, like, are you coming? Because my pickup time was I think 5:20, and at this point it was like 5:30, I think, because I was giving her some time because I showed she was driving in the area. So I'm like, okay, like whatever. And so I messaged her, and then I forget what she said exactly. She was like, I'm on my way or something like that. So I'm just like, okay. So when she gets to me, she's like, Ashley, I'm like, yeah. And she's like, you're never gonna believe what happened. So she said she came to the hotel when the message came through that like your driver is arriving, and there was another chick standing outside the hotel. She asked that chick, hi, are you Ashley? That chick said yeah. So she took that chick to the airport, and then when she was en route to the airport, that's when I messaged her. And when she read that, that's when she realized, oh shit, like something's not right here. And I'm just like, that's some crazy shit. And then I'm sitting there thinking, like, I have like a picture. Like, we all have to have like a profile picture. So, like, but whatever. It was just the craziest shit. So, yeah. But there's that. But Sean, I appreciate you, bro. You say you deserve this. Subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate all you guys. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, feel free to do so. That'd be great. As I say, it's free, right? And go ahead and like the stream if you haven't done that already as well. I appreciate all you guys watching here on YouTube. A few of you guys watching over there on Twitter and Twitch. I appreciate that as well. But yeah, like I said, I have to wrap up here before I end up sitting here all day with you guys because I love you guys and I really could. But yeah, and go Dodgers. Hell yeah, and that was Kobe Bryant's team. So fuck yeah, go Dodgers. Ohtani, unreal, just fucking unreal. I don't know shit about baseball, but wow, just unreal. Like and I read somewhere too, and this will be the last thing I swear, and then I'll wrap up. That like, what did they spend on him? Like almost like $1 billion or some shit, and the Dodgers have already made that money back and then some. Like within like just, and it's been what, like a year or two, not even. How long has he been in there? Between like merch, ticket sales, and like all that shit, they've already made that money back and then some. I think it was like close to $1 billion. Like just wild. 750 million. Okay, yeah, I knew it was something like that. Thank you, Sean. Wild, fucking wild. Like yeah, so I'm pulling for the Dodgers because Kobe Bryant's team was the Dodgers. I'm pretty certain. I remember seeing him in a lot of Dodgers jerseys. So, yeah. Go LA. But, yeah, Shawnee said we've never seen anything like him. Okay, cool. So, I didn't know if maybe, because like I said, I'm not the biggest, like, like knowledgeable person when it comes to baseball. But, yeah, okay. In case Smith, you say 3 home runs and 10 strikeouts in one game is crazy. Yeah, bro. Like, I was just like, yo, like how, like, what's the normal? You know what I mean? Because I'm one of those people that like I'll go to a baseball game just because it's like a fun thing to do, right? Like I don't know, just like it's one of America's pastimes, right? But yeah, I don't know a lot about baseball, but it's just I don't know. But I do get to the point where I'm like, all right, like, can we speed this up? Can we wrap things up here? But yeah. But yeah, guys, I will wrap up there. Fernando, you said watch along for a Saturday night main event next week. I don't know. I have to see if I work. Let me see. Un momento, por favor. Oh, okay. So I am off next Saturday. I wasn't sure if I had taken next Saturday off as well. So potentially, yeah. Potentially so. I'll post on Twitter within the next couple days and let you guys know for certain. Once I get an idea of just like what my schedule's gonna be like, but I'm pretty certain since I don't have to work on Saturday. I know I have to meet up someone to watch the dogs for a trip that we're taking in February. But I don't know what time it is, because I know it's in the evening time based on like their schedule. But yeah, that should be good. So yeah, maybe we can do something like that. That was a good idea, Fernando. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Like I was saying earlier, I truly appreciate you guys for being so flexible with me and for popping on and on this side of the channel, Kick Ash Podcast, Saturday morning. So appreciate that. We will keep things going on here Saturday mornings in the meantime. But yeah, I appreciate it. All the support, guys. Like I said before, I really, really love that you guys come here and chat. And we have like a little community going here. It's pretty dope. It's pretty fun. So as always, stay safe. Have a great weekend, guys, and enjoy some wrestling. Take care.